In the morning, he shall devour the prey, and in the evening, he shall divide the spoils.
I will not put my feet on the floor in the morning until I talk to God. Can you say without hesitation that God is first in your life? It's silly to say that we don't have time for God. And if we don't have time for him, that he's not first in our lives. Do you think about God and his goodness in your life? Do you take time to thank God for your blessings, even little ones?
In the morning, devour something. Throw your whole self at something. You'll never know what you can do and what you can be until you throw your whole self at it. Devour it. I mean, devour it. Don't try it. Devour it. Attack it. Attack it like you're going to kill it. Devour the prey. And in the evening, you divide the spoils. There is an old person down inside of you that's dependent on you to be smart. It's the person you're going to be 30, 40 years from now. Do not disappoint that person.
Live to please the Lord. Make decisions that are pleasing to God. How many times do we decide to put God first, but then the keeping him first becomes an issue because, in case you haven't noticed, the world is full of things to distract us. I'm sure you've experienced, you make a decision that you're going to pray every morning and study the Word before you do anything else, and man, all of a sudden it's nighttime and you don't even know what happened, but that plan you made didn't work out.
Where are you going to be in 10 years? Where are you going to be in 20 years? Without even knowing you, I can tell you where you're going to be. Tell me what you're choosing right now, because the choices you make today will determine where you will be tomorrow. Not the choices you make tomorrow. The choices you make today will determine where you'll be tomorrow. And smart people, wise people, are always asking the question, what do I need to do today to get me where I need to be tomorrow?
And so, more than anything, and I want you to listen to me, more than anything, the devil will fight you about keeping God first in your time, in your finances, and in many, many, many different ways. You see, here's the thing that you don't want to do. I found myself many years ago trying so hard to work God into my schedule. And finally one day the Lord said, why don't you just work your schedule around me? So are you trying to find a place to put God into your schedule? Or would you be willing today to say, God, from now on, you're going to be first, and I don't care what else has to go, or what I have to change, what I have to make an adjustment in. I want to keep you first in my life in everything.
But you got to start something. You got to give God something to put his finger on, that Midas touch, where it turned into something. You got to let your imagination go. You got to let your imagination fly as wild as it can fly without being constricted by the confines of where you live, what color you are, what sex you are, and how much money you make, and what your degrees say. You got to let your imagination fly beyond that. You got to go for it. You got to step out on faith, and you got to go for it. Oh, and did I mention you got to pray?
He doesn't want to just be part of your Sunday morning. He wants to be welcomed into and be a vital part of everything that you do. Millions of people believe in Jesus and go to church on Sunday. But God is not first in their life. He puts you first in his life. Do you know that? Every single one of you is first in God's thoughts. And I want you to understand this today. You are on God's mind all the time. He's always thinking about you. We could not even count the thoughts that God has toward us. They would be like little grains of sand on the beach.
Don't want to leave that out. You got to pray. You got to use prayer. You got to talk to God. You got to use faith. You got to have some conferences with him late at night, early in the morning, in the middle of the afternoon, when you're on the train, when you're driving. You got to talk to God, man. You got to get yourself some help along the way. Nothing is bigger than prayer. There is nothing bigger than prayer. Do what you can do. But start, man. Just get started today. Stop delaying it. Every time you put it off, you seem further away from it, don't you? Why won't you start?
Before you ever arrived on planet Earth, God made a plan for every single day of your life. He won't force you to walk in it, but he would like you to walk in it. He would like to guide you and lead you through life, and literally, let me say it again, be involved in everything you do. In every decision you make, God wants to be part of it.
Let your imagination go. Open it up. You know, if you can't imagine, God sure can.
When God created you, He put in you everything you need to fulfill your destiny. God is a strategic God. He's not random. He didn't just create you and say, let's see what they can do. Let's see what happens. God is precise. He's intentional down to the smallest detail. When He laid out the plan for your life, He carefully studied it.
That's what Jesus died for us to have. Boy, we sure need God when we're desperate. Well, you know, we can't just go to God when we're desperate. That's not a walk with God. You say, you mean to tell me that I need to spend time with God every day? How about about every 5 minutes? God is not for the emergencies in our life. He is our life. Well, so we can just keep trying to do a bunch of stuff without Him and just fail time after time, and hopefully we'll finally get it. That's what happened to me. Now, some of you are still young enough that you think, oh man, I gotta get married, I gotta have kids, I gotta climb the ladder of success, you know. Well, that's good. Do all that. But if you do all that without God, you'll come to the end of it and you'll still be very dissatisfied.
He thought about what you would need, what it would take to get you there. He gave you the talent you need, the creativity, the strength. You're the right size. You have the right looks, the right personality, the right family. You didn't get shortchanged. You are fully loaded and completely equipped for the race that's been designed for you. Now quit wishing you were something different. If I had a better personality, then I could do something great. If I came from a different family, if I wasn't so small, Joel, have a new perspective. If you needed to be taller, God would have made you taller. If you needed a different personality, He would have given you one. If you needed to be another nationality, you would be another nationality. God doesn't make mistakes. You're not faulty. You have been fearfully and wonderfully made. Now don't go around feeling shortchanged, like somehow you're lacking, you didn't get enough, you can't do what they can do. If you didn't get what somebody else has, that means you don't need it. Quit comparing yourself and run your race. Be who God created you to be. You are an original. You have something to offer the world that nobody else has. Let your gifts shine. Show your talent, your personality, your style. We don't need an imitation. We don't need a copy. We need the original you.